Hi Vinyl Community, it's Mike here, and today's video is something a bit different. It's a response to Joaquim, and his channel is Middle Life Crisis Rants. And he's running a competition at the moment, and I'll leave a link to that video if you want to enter his competition. But I'm not going to enter the competition. I'm going to take a leaf out of my mate Berkshire Mike's book. And Mike wanted to support Joaquim, but he didn't really want to do the competition. And the competition is the usual sort of stuff where you have to spell out a couple of words using records. And Mike made the point that he couldn't really show the records he really wanted to show, the records that were appropriate to the theme of the video, by spelling out some words. So instead, he decided that he would just show some records that he felt were appropriate, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to enter your competition, Joaquim, but I'm going to show my support. So what is this video about? Well, Joaquim, as well as having a punk records collection that I think is probably second to none, he's also on the right side, sort of politically, by which I mean the left side, and Joaquim is an anti-fascist, and he wants us to show our support for that position, our abhorrence of fascism, by entering this competition, or in my case, making this video. And I'm quite happy to do this. I know a lot of you will say, well, politics has got no place in music, but I'm afraid I disagree. I think that music does have a place in politics. It's always had a place in politics. People have a platform and they use it, and that's fine. That's fine by me. So, before I get going with the records I'm going to show, I just say, well, what is fascism? What's it all about, and why are we talking about it now? Well, unfortunately, over the last few years, we've seen a rise in fascism across Western Europe and North America in particular. And I think it's particularly bad in the UK. And we have people on the streets on almost a sort of weekly basis who are, expounding the most vile sort of conspiracy theories and, right wing tropes that I just find absolutely abhorrent. And again, as Mike said, that we in the vinyl community, we're of that sort of age where our parents and grandparents, fought against fascism, 80 years ago, and now to see fascists on the streets, is absolutely terrible. So so why has it happened? I mean, I think the main reason is that when people's lives get a little bit shitty, and quite honestly, life in Britain is not great at the moment. We have a government that really doesn't have a clue. In fact, we've had successive governments, neoliberal governments that pursue policies that only really benefit the rich. And ordinary people's lives have deteriorated. They've seen their standard of living, decline at quite a rapid rate. And this is where the fascists come in. They quite rightly say, look, your lives are not very good. Your lives are shitty. And they say, well, we've got the solution. And unfortunately, the solution that they offer, the simple solution, is that it's all the fault of some minority or other. People with brown skin, are the problem. Get rid of those people from the country and everything will be fine. And this, of course, is a complete lie. The fascists don't care about ordinary people. We have ultra right wing political parties now in this country. They're led by millionaires and they're bankrolled by billionaires, and they have an interest, in that class. It's the billionaires and millionaires that benefit from fascism. It's the ordinary people that don't. And people, so there's people on the streets, saying, well, the problem with Britain is that there's too much immigration. And it really saddens me to see that. And really, what saddens me even more is that I saw a live stream a couple of weeks ago, and there's two people I know, people I've met in the vinyl community, that were promoting far right conspiracy theories. And I was so saddened by this. I think it's absolutely dreadful. And of course, the people always have an excuse. They say, don't call me a fascist. I'm not a fascist. I'm just saying what everybody thinks. Well, it's not what everybody thinks. And I think, I think, I mean, it could be wrong, but I think that the reason that fascists don't like to be called fascists is there's a little bit of shame there. There's a little bit of self-hate that they've actually been radicalised on the right so much that, they're now, they're now expounding, political views that are absolutely abhorrent and, until a few years ago were completely off the board as far as, polite discourse was concerned. But now it's not. Anyway, that's a rant over, folks. And, I make no apologies for that. So what I'm going to do is that if I'd done Joachim's contest, I would have shown 11 records. So I'm going to show 11 singles. They're mainly punk singles. And they're singles by bands and artists who I think would be on the right side of the barricades, come the revolution. They're the people on the left. The people that care about, inclusivity. They're not full of hate. They want everybody to get along, and they want ordinary people. They want working people to have their fair share in society. So right, we'll start off with this guy. He's a self-proclaimed Marxist, and it's a great Robert Wyatt, and I think this single is appropriate. It's Shipbuilding, which is a song that's jointly written by Elvis Costello, and the name of the other writer it eludes me at the moment, but it's a fantastic song. It's an anti-Falklands War song. It's telling people that when the elite go to war, it's the ordinary people that suffer, and that's the first one. Right. Next off, a band from Scotland, I think, The Exploited, and this is their single Dead Cities, and it's from 1977. I mean, the Robert Wyatt single was 1981, by the way, which is about when the Falkland Wars was going. But anyway, this is Dead Cities, and the A side is Dead Cities. There's double A side, and the AA side is called Hitler's in the Charts Again, and there you go. So The Exploited definitely would be on the right side of the argument. Right, next off, 1977 record, and it's the brilliant Desperate Bicycles, and this single is called The Medium Was Tedium, and it's a song about DIY music, really, having a go yourself, producing a record independently for no money at all, and putting it out there, which is exactly what they did with this. But the B-side, or in fact, it's strange, both tracks are cut on each side, so it's sort of like you've got two tracks on each side, but it's the same two tracks on each side. And the second track there, as you can probably see, is called Don't Back the Front, and the front in question are the National Front, which were a prominent fascist party that were on the rise in the late 1970s. So that's the Desperate Bicycles. Now my favourite folk punk, Patrick Fitzgerald, and this is quite a recent single. It's from 2024, and it's a double A side, and he does one side, and then Jello Biafra with Motorcycle do the other side, but it's the same song. They're doing the same song on each side, and the song's called Punch, as you can see there, and of course, as you can probably guess from the picture there, it's a song about the big orange baby in the White House. So that's that. Patrick Fitzgerald and Motorcycle. Somebody who was involved in the Red Wedge movement, back in the day, and that's Billy Bragg. Billy Bragg, Between the Wars, and the premise of this song is that we don't have periods of peace, we have periods between wars, which is quite a sort of depressing thought, really, isn't it? But it's a great song there, and that was from 1984. And you've also got The World Turned Upside Down, which is on here, which is a song about the Diggers, a political movement from the English Civil War, and that was written by Leon Russellson, who was a Marxist folk singer. So there you go, that's that. And now somebody that Berwickshire Mike showed, and that's Attila the Stockbroker, and this is an EP, and it's Attila the Stockbroker and Seething Wells. So it's two of the punk poets, and Attila the Stockbroker was quite famous, really, back in the day. And then you've got Seething Wells, who was from Yorkshire, and I saw both of these poets quite often at gigs in the in the early 80s, I suppose. So they say here, we recommend you play this loud. So Seething Wells, his tracks are Godzilla versus the Tetley Bittermen, Police Dog, Cadillacs in Bradford, Agro Britain, and Ha Ha Ha. And Attila the Stockbroker, his tracks are A Bang and a Wimpy, Pop Music for Wreck People, Andy is a Capitalist, I Don't Talk to Pop Stars, Foyer Bar, They Must Be Russians, and Russians in the DHSS. So there you go. So Seething Wells at the top, Attila the Stockbroker at the bottom. Great EP, this. Right, Angelic Upstarts. Had to show the Angelic Upstarts, and this is a single, Never Had Nothing, and quite a depressing quite a depressing theme, really. At 6:45 a.m. yesterday, he got his wish. He's 18 and he wants to die. He wants some glory, but the price is high. Yeah. But, they were always, again, quite political. Did a couple of songs about police brutality, etc., etc. So they're pretty good. Right, band from Leeds. Always have to have a band from Leeds, don't I? And this is Abrasive Wheels, and there they are. And this is their EP, Vicious Cycle. And you got 3 tracks on here. You got Vicious Cycle, Attack, and Voice of Youth. And this is really a response. It's 1981. It's a response to the riots we were having on the streets at the time, the real discontent that we had here in Britain. So that's that. Right, a very up to date band, a band that I absolutely love, and that's Kneecap, and this is their single from this year. It's called No Comment, and I'll take it out of the what's that? There you go. It's called No Comment, and then the absolutely brilliant, a great one at live shows, Get Your Brits Out, and so I've talked about Kneecap before. Kneecap are not afraid to speak out against the genocide happening in Gaza, and kudos to them for actually doing that. And they've taken a lot of stick, particularly from the British government for actually doing that. Right. Well, we've got a couple to go now. So another record. This is from last year, 2025, and this is Sleaford Mods, and this is a single, Megaton, from their latest album. And on the B side, you got Give 'Em What They Want. And Sleaford Mods, very much, into social commentary. They support War and Want. They support the War Child charity, and they're all round good guys, and they're absolutely brilliant musicians. So that's the Sleaford Mods. And then finally, a band on a Leeds label. A band are from the northeast, from Teesside, sort of Middlesbrough way. And this is a band called Benefits, and there's 2 tracks here. This is hardcore punk. I don't think this is for everybody, but it's great stuff. This is Benefits. The A side is Flag, and the B side is Empire. And the track Flag is about these people who, are on the streets, fascists on the streets, who literally wrap themselves in the flag, and claim therefore to be patriots, but really they're just a bunch of racists. So there you go. So that's that. So I know that might be a bit strong for some people, but I felt I had to do it. And when I saw Joaquim had done it, a couple of other people have done it, including Berwickshire Mike. But I'll leave a link to Joaquim's channel. So until next time, I'll see you. So bye then. Bye.